Hey besties, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Layla, and in today's video we're going to be doing back to school tips. Now this video was recommended by my little sister, so I was like, okay, I'll do it. These tips that I'm going to give, they can be applied to whether you're in elementary, middle school, high school, college. They're a general thing that you should carry throughout your life in general, and these are some things that I wish somebody would have told me when I was in high school or middle school. Let me say middle school. I wish somebody would have told me these when I was in middle school. So let's get right into that. The list isn't that long. It's like 6 back to school tips. Number 1 is prioritize your sleep, your studies, and your homework. I 100% recommend, 1000% recommend getting everything done in advance, because when you finish it in advance, by the time it's due, you can like lay back and chill. You know, you can have that rest period before you have to do another assignment. Or say if you miss out on something, it's just like, oh, okay, well, if I do this in advance, I can finish this in advance, so by the time all these things are due, I can have at least like 3-4 days to myself, and I ain't got to worry about nothing. That's the best thing to do. Do everything in advance. Do not wait last minute, because it will pile up. You try to wait last minute, then you got this due the next day, you got this due in 3 days, you got this due next week. Don't do that. And prioritizing your sleep is very important. Make sure you get at the very least 7 hours of sleep, but max 8 hours if you can. I know some of us work after school and stuff like excuse me. I know some of us work like after school, because I used to work when I was in high school after school, and we may not 100% get that 8 hours. So at least try to get 7 hours and 30 minutes, or just 7 hours flat. Nothing shorter than 7 hours of sleep, because you are going to be drowsy. You're not going to have energy to finish those assignments in advance, because you're going to want to use that time to sleep. So it's really important you prioritize your sleep and your mental health. That is very important. Very, very, very important. Number 2, if you plan on going to college, participate in activities, okay? I cannot stress this enough. If you plan on going to college, or if you plan on working and you're in middle school, participate in activities. Those things can go on your resume, your college application, all that, because that shows experience. So that's why when we get to these jobs after graduating high school, and they say, oh, you need to have 3 years experience in communications. Okay, so if you participated in a club while, let's say, 9th grade year of high school, or maybe 8th grade of middle school, you went into like a leadership club, or just something to where you have to advocate around the school, you can use that and say, hey, when I was in middle school, I was in this club and we did such and such, and this shows that I had got the skill of communication. Like I executed that skill within this club, because I had to speak a lot. I had to persuade people to do something. I had to convince people. I had to inform people. Whatever it is, that is part of communication. And when you join a club, whatever club you join, make sure you have communication on it, because people in the working industry, they really look for that, because communication is very, very important, because a lot of people misconstrue a lot of stuff. So I highly, highly, highly recommend you guys join school activities or whatever, especially if you're in high school and you want to go to college. School activities, sports too. Sports is cool, don't get me wrong, we love sports, boom, but make sure you're in a club, even if it's at lunchtime, even if it's after school, even if it's before class. Make sure you're in a club that's kind of like related or close, or has a skill that you can use for the major you want to have in college, or that can just be beneficial to you in the long run, like if you want to put it on your resume or something. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's very important. Number 3, pray. Pray and ask God for discernment and guidance throughout your semester. Every semester, every year, pray. Pray, pray, pray. Pray, yeah. And pray and ask Him for discernment to who can, be around you, because I feel like school, me personally, school is like, it's set up for you to learn how to thrive in a social environment. And yes, school is for learning, but you know, school doesn't teach us the things that we need to know out in the real world. Some of it, but not really. Like the political stuff, okay, they teach us all of that. But I'm talking about like real life stuff that a lot of us that come from unfortunate environments, we learn that naturally, you know, the street smarts. But the people who don't learn that are the people who, you know, had a life that was fortunate, and it was wonderful, and there's nothing wrong with that. But use school as a way to learn how to navigate life. And I'm talking about in a social setting. Discernment, who to hang around, who not to hang around. Listen to yourself. If that person bringing bad energy, or if you feel like they might want to harm you or anything, you have to know these things. So when you get out into the real world, you'll be able to practice and execute that as well, because we're all adults, and it's a scary big place out here when you're not just in your school little box or big box, however big or small your school is. You're not in that box anymore. You're out in the world, and discernment is very important. So practicing and praying and asking God for discernment while you're in school is very beneficial. And most importantly, you know, when you ask for discernment and God bring the right person or people around you, you can grow, you elevate, and you learn more about yourself and the people around you. You connect, you socialize, and you make good connections with people that can be in your life for a long time. So you know, and if you don't pray, you know, if you don't believe in God, whatever you believe in, whoever you believe in, ask them for discernment, ask them for guidance, and you know, to lead you around the people that are going to elevate you, and you elevate them, because it's vice versa, and put you in a position to where everybody around you can grow together and learn from one another, because that's very important. Number 4, be confident in yourself. Be so confident in yourself that it makes somebody else want to be confident in themselves. Okay? And I'm like, being confident is very important, because we see the people around us and we look at them like, oh my God, I'm gonna just speak from my experience, like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, and oh my God, I love her hair, I love her nails, I love her backpack, her pencil is cute, and it'd be the little stuff like that, and it's just like, damn, I want that. But you know, it's not no jealousy or enviness, but it's just like you compare your life to theirs, and in comparison is the thief of joy. That's a good saying. Comparison is the thief of joy. So sometimes we'll look at, you know, what everybody else got compared to what we got and feel bad about it. But you may never know what that person is going through privately. You may never know how their personal life is outside of school. You know, people make things look good. You will look at me and you wouldn't think I've been through half of the stuff that I've been through because of how I carry myself. Okay, and that's another thing. You know, carry yourself well. Don't let nobody know. They can't look at, how can I say this? Don't let somebody be able to look at you and be able to tell if your life is good or bad. Let them always assume that it's good, okay? Regardless. Not like that. But if you're going through it, speak up. Speak up. But don't wear it on you. Do not wear it on you, okay? That's not the type of energy you want to attract. Do not wear it on you. Make sure you look clean and presentable and you carry yourself well, regardless of where you come from. Because, yeah, regardless of where you come from, you can be homeless, sleeping in the car. Make sure that you groom yourself the best way you can, however you can. You make sure you look presentable, regardless. And you don't have to have the flashy clothes. I'm talking about you just look clean, you brush your teeth, and you know that's the best thing. You washed your butt. That's my humidifier if y'all hear that little noise. So yeah, be confident. Be confident. Don't compare yourself to other people. And if you if you see somebody that have things that you want, or you just feel like you just want your life to be better, you want your life to be better, then you create that life. You do the things that you see your ideal self doing. You be the person you ideally see yourself as, and you do that little at a time. You little pieces at a time, you do that. So I 100% encourage you to create the life you truly desire. Create the life that you see yourself wanting to be in, you see yourself thriving in. That's the best thing you do. And I know sometimes we might go home and not have that life, but still try to execute that the best way as possible, whether you at home, in public, at school, wherever. Still try to create that life for yourself, because nobody else can but you. Okay, number 5. It's okay to be nervous on the first day of school. I know some of y'all probably already had your first day of school. Some of y'all probably going back to school well, when y'all see this next week. Yeah, so some people probably going to school next week. Some of y'all already started school. But you know what? It don't matter. It's okay to be nervous. Overall, in general, it is okay to be nervous. It's nothing wrong with it, okay? It's nothing wrong with being a little nervous or feeling a little shy. That's fine. Take a few deep breaths. Meditate before you go to school. Even if it's not the first day of school and you still like kind of got that nervous jitter, wake up a little earlier than usual and meditate, or do some deep breathing. You can look it up on YouTube. Deep breathing exercise, 5-minute deep breathing exercise, 2-minute deep breathing exercise, 3-minute deep breathing exercise. They have it all on YouTube. You look it up, you use that to woosah, calm yourself down. I promise you it works. I work with 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds, and last week I was at work and the kids were just like acting out. Like, me and the 2 other teachers, we were like really overwhelmed. So I took a deep breath and I said, okay, I need everybody's attention. You know, I had to raise my voice a little bit to get everybody attention. I said, I need everybody to sit on the carpet. Everybody, let's sit on the carpet, you know. And I sat on the carpet with them, and I typed on the laptop, you know, deep breathing exercise for 5 minutes. And I showed the kids, come on, deep breathe. And it calmed them down. I mean, it was like 2 of them that wasn't calm, but that's okay. Out of 10, only 2 wasn't calm. That's good. That's great. That's amazing, actually. Okay, so doing that exercise can really just like bring that stress level and anxiety down, to relax your body. It's really important to practice learning how to deep breathe. Yeah, so that I 100% encourage. And last but not least, my favorite one of them all, setting boundaries with people, okay? And advocating for yourself. It is very, 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 very important to set boundaries and advocate for yourself. Don't nobody know what you need unless you are speaking and letting them know, I don't like when you do this. It makes me uncomfortable and I want some space. And you know, not a lot of people respond well to that. Sometimes we might not say it, you know, our tone of voice might be, you know, high, so they might, you know, get offended by it. But you know, that's why we have to practice. So, you know, we can practice our tone of voice. We can, or just take a deep breath and make sure our tone of voice is right. Make sure we're saying, you know, words that aren't, I mean, it's not your responsibility to identify somebody else's trigger, but just to say it in a way that's polite, you know, polite and respectful, that you need space and you're setting a boundary. Do that. And if they are uncomfortable with it or they don't respect that, walk away from them, give them some space. The right person, you know, you set a boundary and maybe they feel triggered by it because nobody has ever set a boundary with them. They might go off and you give them some space and you don't talk to them, and then they think about it, then they come to their senses and they apologize to you, and then they respect your boundary. That's, you know, that's somebody that's a work in progress, because not all of us grew up learning and understanding, like, when somebody set a boundary to you, a boundary, it's not an attack against you. Sometimes we have to be patient with those types of people. So, but the people who just are just attacking you because you set a boundary and they didn't even like try to understand you, or they don't want to understand you, stay away from those people. Absolutely stay away from those people. And I know some of us come from families, including myself, have mothers and fathers who disrespect our boundaries and disrespect us, and we can't get away from them. Take it from me, learn learn that person. Learn that person. Learn their triggers, learn how they act. And I know this is kind of like a survival instinct, but some of us are in positions to where we have to use these things to be able to survive in our environment until we remove ourselves or get removed. You get what I'm saying? So you learn that person and you move accordingly when you're around that person, because you know they're not going to respect your boundaries. They're not going to allow you to advocate for yourself, and it's just their way or the highway. You're young, you can't get kicked out, or maybe you're grown and you can't get kicked out, you ain't got nowhere to go and you're still trying to figure it out. Learn that person and move. What word did I just use? Move accordingly. Move accordingly until you figure it out, and then when you figure it out, and that's how you act towards them. And then still if they like my mama, they still gonna find something to complain about. They still gonna find something to yell about. They still gonna find something to say that they still gonna find something to say. But you do what you can, and I know that can be stressful. So here's a little side advice: journal. And if you can't journal, go for a walk and talk to yourself. Use your voice memos. So I'm gonna tell y'all something. So yesterday I was talking to somebody and they were like, oh, so you like do voice memo instead of journaling, like you prefer that? And I'm like, yeah, I prefer voice memo over journaling, because when I was younger, I always felt like I couldn't verbally express how I felt, so writing, like, it doesn't really like let it go for me. Like, I have to say it. I have to use my mouth, because I have the power to speak up for myself. I can use my words. Like, I don't have to be silent and write. I can use my voice. And she was like, that is so powerful, because it's like gaining your power back. And I never seen it like that until she pointed it out. And I'm like, you know what? It's exactly that. It's to get my power back, because I'm in a position to where they're trying to make me feel powerless, or I am powerless because they're on top and I'm at the bottom, and they're in control of the situation, or they're trying to take control of the situation, and my hands are tied. So I can't do that. So record yourself talking on the phone, voice memo. You can delete it after, because if you got a parent that go through your phone and I'm not encouraging bad behavior, but if you got a toxic parent that'll go through your phone just to find anything just to be mad at you about, record yourself expressing yourself and then delete it. You don't gotta listen to it. Nobody gotta listen to it. That can just stay between you. I never ever re-listen to my voice memos. People ask me all the time, would you ever re-listen to your voice memos? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't know, maybe like if I still have them years from now, probably. But as of right now, I do not see myself re-listening to them again. I mean, listening to them. I don't ever see myself listening to them. So yeah, that's what I encourage. I'm not encouraging you to disrespect your parents, even though I know sometimes some of us, not all of us, have parents that are toxic and unhealed because of whatever they've been through in their past. So it's kind of a burden to us to have to heal while also being hurt. So just know you're not alone. You're not alone. It's a lot of us out here that are going through exactly what you're going through, and just know it gets 100% better. Maybe when you move out, or maybe you're gonna end up like me. I got kicked out at 16, and I felt like it felt like it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. But now that I'm 20 and I'm finna move into my own apartment, and I got a job that I love, and I'm doing good for myself, that was the best thing that could ever happen to me. So yeah, and use your resources. Use your resources. There's a lot of them out there. Look online, and take what you learn from school, because there's a lot of stuff that I mix my street smart with my book smarts. You could fact check websites and make sure that it's a legit website, and use those resources to get help, whether if you're like 14, 15, you need a job, or whether you're like 18, 19, 20 and you need a job, or you need somewhere to go. Use your resources. There's a lot of programs, resources and stuff out here that will want to help you and want to see you succeed. And I know it's beneficial to them, so they can be like, oh yeah, well this person came here and they succeeded here, so they can keep getting that funding, which is good for us too, because it's beneficial for us and it's beneficial for them. So use our resources. Inbox me if you need to. Yeah, so inbox me, message me on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and I help you if you need help. There's nothing to it. But anyways, that's my tips for back to school and a little bit of, you know, side notes, just to put some information out there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
I know you got all dressed up for the club, waiting on